defined the service and the controller, we're gonna define the route. And where is the route located? That is in the app.js located. So let's check that. App.js, we define an Angular model. The name of it is my.app. The dependencies are my app.services, and what we are using is a route provider. And we define 3 routes in this one. One for all the books, one for one book, and one when no valid route is provided. So we're using the route provider for this. If you want to know more about it, check docs.angular.js.org/guide/concepts. How do we define a route provider for retrieving all books? So, it's route provider, we're using when. If this URL is passed, then there are two things that are important to this. One is the template URL. We come to that in detail. That is the book list HTML that's located in partials, and the name of it is book list. And we have a controller that's book list controller. And here is our book list controller. That's what we have defined in our previous movie. Okay. So this URL retrieves that view with that controller, and the controller that gets the data for it. The next is for the detail, for the book detail. It's not for getting just one book, but also get one book and create, update, retrieve one book and delete and update. That is what it's doing. So, same again. When there is this URL, /book/id, so this is a variable, so the route provider will interpret it as a variable and pass it to the variable with name id. There is a value in here and it gets the name id. There's a template URL related to that, book detail, and we have a controller, that book detail controller. That's this one for retrieving one book, create and delete. And when nothing valid is passed, so for instance instead of books I type in book, then it will redirect to books, and that's the list of all the books. That's it for the routes. That's located in app.js. That's where we define our application. So, the routes, done with that. Next, we're gonna do the views in Angular.js.